Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are at Rockingham train station to take a very special route called the 556, which travels between here and Rockingham Hospital. It's a very short route and I've never ridden in it. I've never been to the Rockingham Hospital. However, a few times a day it does some very weird deviations. 2 deviations on the route down to some streets and then back up to the main route, which is the service right now at 11:47. So we'll take that and travel the whole route to Rockingham Hospital. I'll film the whole thing with the 2 deviations and then we'll just say if anyone used it and stuff. Quick video, another Transperth Oddities. That was at 69 and 81, bound for Perth over there. Got a lot of buses here, including the MIDI 120, refurbished 2218, new 3252, articulated 3090, lots of different variety. So let's get on to the 556 stand and take this route. Now here at the 556 stand there is also another service called the 554, which seems even more pointless, doing a random loop to Hillman, which is a suburb right there, which I could walk the whole route right now in like 20 minutes or run it in like 8 if I wanted to. Very short route, and SCW has filmed that one. I'll link it in the corner if you want to watch the trip of that route, but for now we're just going on 556 here, and you can see the timetable. Still got all the old ones, and you can see deviates via Wooramel Way and Sunningdale Crescent, the 2 different roads it deviates on 3 times a day, 10:47, 11:47 and 3:53. So that's the one we're getting on now. Here comes our bus. It's a very new 3253. And you can see it says both of the deviations on the display. Wooramel Way and Sunningdale Crescent. Let's hop on board. TP 3253 arrived at the Rockingham General Hospital terminus right there. So because of the deviations, the route actually took over 15 minutes, which is quite long for this route, which is usually pretty short. This hospital is in such a weird place. It's like in the middle of the suburb. It's just houses and then just this weird old brick hospital right there. It's so strange. Not a very comforting hospital, and only served by this bus connection almost once an hour every day, all day. And it's not even much better in peak hour really. It's a very scarcely served hospital, but I guess it is a small one as well. Also, of course, these houses are served by that route, so I'm not going to call those deviations pointless. They're rather long and have quite a few stops, so they can serve those communities which aren't usually served. To be honest, I think it should run more often so they're connected up properly. On the first deviation, there was 2 different groups of people who used it. On the second one, no one used it, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It's only 3 times a day though. It should probably be around every second or third trip does the deviations, so that it's more frequent, but whatever. Anyway, look, this is where the bus U-turns. It just says turning loop in this super old Transperth font. Quite a heritage sign this is. And then comes here, and then it does a U-turn past these houses and heads back up. So the terminus is right there. It's such a weird little spot. I don't want to take the same bus back though. The driver's already looking at me suspiciously because someone sat at the front seat. Like they stole the front seat before I got in, and then I had to film most of it from the wheelchair area, as you saw in the video. And then I moved to the front once it was vacant. Anyway, that's the hospital there. We might just walk back to Rockingham Station, to be honest. It's not that far. And I'll be able to explore some more of the suburb as well as the footbridge before Rockingham Station, which I've never walked across before. So I'll also film that once I get there. But that's about it for this video. In terms of the route, you see it's a nice little deviation, serving more houses, and then up to the Rockingham Hospital. Just found some dead magpie here. That looks pretty bad. Don't know how it died. Another heritage sign to Rockingham, hidden behind the trees. Now replaced by that one, which is white for some reason. To hospital or to station. Anyway, this is actually part of the deviation we were on before. I'm gonna run up to the footbridge now. Here's one of the bus stops along deviation 21293. It's something Sunningdale circuit right here. We passed this one before. Footbridge is just around the corner. Here is the footbridge right next to the railway track. Hillman Footbridge. Never walked across here before. There's also some car markers down there. 2 car, 3 car, 4 car, 6 car. Which means trains can actually stop here if they need to, because the switchovers are right there, and then cross back if there were ever to be a shutdown from Rockingham to somewhere to the north of it or east. Anyway, that's cool. It's a nice footbridge. Walk across the railway track. Fortunately, a train just went past. I'm not waiting 15 minutes in the sun, so I'm just gonna head back. We're almost back at the station, honestly. I beat the bus here by ages. The bus is so slow, it takes such a winding path. And these here are also the crossovers that they used during the Mandra line shutdown. When there was the bi-directional running, they had to cross here. Anyway, walked across the Hillman Footbridge now. Right here is Hillman, the other suburb served by a weird circle route, the 554 from Rockingham. I could take one, but there's none for a while again. But the sun's really strong. I really have to run back to the station. So off I go. Okay, I got back to the train station with a hard 1 kilometer just straight sprint to avoid the sun. But I already got back. I beat the bus by ages. It's honestly not even that far. Although I get why the route has to exist because of like hospital patients. Definitely couldn't walk that far, especially in this heat. I would have rather taken the bus, even with its inconvenient route, which is already inconvenient, but when it takes deviations, oh, then it takes a long time. Anyway, here's 2093 on a 553. Now I came back just in time to catch a train back to Kwinana and film a 542 deviation, so I'm gonna go do that. That was the end of the 556 deviation episode. Thanks for watching, and bye.